Hi there, Sanzine. How you doing? Hey there, Doug. Hey there, Pixel of Dawn. Hope you're all well. Let's get some audio on my end of things. There we go. Oh, I hope you've all had a good week. Bit of a rush this evening, but we've got there, so that's all good. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Oh, that sounds like the perfect Friday there's Tim, so that's my kind of evening there. In fact, that's exactly the kind of evening I'm about to have, so. Cool, well there's no time like the present, so I thought we would do a bit of a split. I know I did a poll on Twitter to sort of see what we're going to do as Doug, 10-minute retrocast, said in the chat. It's a bit of a foregone conclusion asking my followers what would you like to see. Well, of course, Amiga. But I was really up for playing some Mega Drive tonight, so I've kind of. It was only an advisory poll, so. But anyway, so I thought we could do quite a bit of Amiga, but also a bit of Mega Drive squeezed in because they're both 68,000, so they're kind of the same thing. So. Anyway, so yeah, hi there, Mirka. I hope you're well. So, what is that strange creature so far? You're scared? Oh. Don't be scared, Tim. It's a rather large squirrel. So, everybody loves squirrels. It's coming for your, well, bird food. Almost said something else there. Oh dear. It's a bit of a work day for you, no beers. Well, I should hope not at work. So, I used to work somewhere where they had beer in a day. Didn't seem to matter what day of the week it was either. It was a bit of a disturbing place to work, to say the least. It was. I remember one of my work colleagues said to me, "Oh, does anybody fancy a drink?" And I thought that I'd only just started in this job, and I thought they were referring to like after work, being as it was a Friday, like would anybody fancy going for a drink after work? So as I was new, I thought, well, you know, you got to try and get to know everybody, and so I said yes, I would. And next thing I knew, they were pulling beers out of the fridge at work, and this is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So never quite got into that myself personally, but to each their own. So it is a scuzzy cushion, Pixels at Dawn, so yeah, so thank you for at least pretending that we have a democracy. Well, as I say, it was an advisory poll. Not trying to make too many of a contentious topical joke there. So, yeah, so advisory polls don't necessarily have to be enacted. Yeah. So, yeah, let's crack on. I thought we'd play some Aladdin to start with, so let's just turn the Mac down. Touch wood, I feel that I'm getting a little bit of the hang of this now in terms of actually sequencing things properly. So let's flip over to the Amiga screen. Let's put the Amiga audio on. Right, okay, I just need to plug in my joystick, which is just here. My squeaky zip stick to the rescue. So yeah, tonight I'll go wonky cam in just a moment so you can see what we're using tonight. You're delivering the spirit of the gaming referendum. Absolutely, you know, at the end of the day, I've heard you loud and clear, but I already had some pre-configured ideas in my head, so I'm basically walking the middle ground in the desire to please myself, but nobody, nobody else. Anyway, I don't want to make too many topical jokes, so that's not really my thing, to be honest with you. So tonight we're playing on, because Aladdin is an AGA game that requires, well, not that beauty, because that's my Mac's keyboard, but there we go. Requires this little beauty here. Ooh, there we go. So twiddle it the other way. I hope you haven't got motion sickness just yet. Sickness. This is a family-friendly stream. As you can see, my desk has become a bit of a rat's nest of wires to get all this rigged up, but it's sort of working. You know, so maybe if I just bring that bigger. So yeah, so we're using the Amiga 1200 today, and over here is my Mega Drive 2, and down there are some of those dirty, disgusting alternative 16-bit games, but which I love dearly, so you'll just have to humour me with that one. So but yeah, so this has been set up for most of the week actually, because last Sunday I was doing a pixel art stream. I'll be doing another one this weekend, probably on Sunday again. I used the Amiga 1200 for that, so I just kept that out this week. So there we go. So et voila. Okay, so yeah, 1200. Hey, Joe Stady, hope you're well. So looks like your trusty A600. I wish it was, but unfortunately Aladdin doesn't run on my 600. My 600 is just sat under its dust cover over there, and yeah. So let me just flick over onto the Amiga full screen here. That Mega Drive could fall at any moment. Oh yeah, well it just depends who's in the room, who wants to sort of give it an elbow. It's quite fairly planted on the desk. It's only overhanging by an inch or so on one edge, so we're okay. So right, so let's fire up some Aladdin. I thought this would be a bit of a halfway house. So yeah. I'm hoping that you'll be able to hear the Amiga audio okay, so do let me know. So it's been a little while since I played the Amiga version of Aladdin actually. So you'll have to excuse me to start with, because I've been somewhat used to... Oh, hang on, bear with, I can tell why there's no Amiga audio. Which of these cables is it? Bear with. There we go. Definitely using real hardware, aren't we? So, just bear with me. I just want to make sure I don't shove this in a serial port or anything like that. There we go. That's better. I can actually hear something now. Ah, the Aladdin music. Oh, thanks, Doug. That's very kind. Yeah, that ballooned quite quickly, but I was still quite proud. I managed to edit that one in pretty much 2 evenings, and then I just finished it off on the Wednesday. So oh, thanks, Samsian. Yeah, it was a bit of a labour of love, but I really wanted to explain a bit better than perhaps it ever has been. So do let me know if you can hear the Amiga okay, and then I'll get started playing the games. So it's just that I can't listen to it myself as the feed goes out, because otherwise you'll get feedback. So but yeah, the Amiga port of Aladdin is actually really, really good. I certainly think it holds up very well against the Mega Drive version, so, which is generally considered the hallmark version, but I think that might be taken from a slightly American perspective, as the Amiga was never as popular in the States, sadly, as it was in Europe. So I think maybe not as many of the American audience or Canadian audience that you get on YouTube gaming channels are aware of how good a port of Aladdin the Amiga got, so audio is good. Hopefully you can hear me over the top of it as well, so awesome. Right, let's get started. So yeah, I must admit I most often play Aladdin on the Mega Drive, but it's for a long time it was just more convenient. I'm just going to check the options just to make sure there's nothing. What does a joypad throw? Joypad jump? We'll just stick with joystick. So these are all the bits and pieces you can collect. So in Agrabah, a faraway land of wind and sand, a young street rat named Aladdin must steal to survive. Meanwhile, Jafar, the Sultan's advisor, plots to take over the kingdom by stealing a magic lamp from the perilous Cave of Wonders. Our story begins of a dark night. Hey there, Lobsterminator, I hope you're doing well. We're just playing a bit of Aladdin, so yeah, the Amigos did cover this actually, didn't they? So let me just get used to these controls. And oh yeah, it is a bit different to playing it on a joypad, no doubt about that. But how do I throw apples on this? That's going to be my question. I don't think I've got any yet, so let me just figure out how you throw apples. I can't remember. Is it? You do throw apples, don't you? I'm not being mad, am I? The problem is I say things and I start to doubt my own knowledge about this game after a while, so yeah, so if anybody in the chat knows or remembers how you throw apples on the Amiga versions, do let me know. It might be something silly like spacebar, I guess, but I'm just not overly sure. It's just that they're quite they're quite handy to completing certain bits of the game. So, but otherwise, this is a great version. I was really pleased that they made the good use of the AGA chipset, which you find in the Amiga 1200 and 4000, as well as the CD32. Those beautiful 16-colour dual play fields and that. So yeah, I'm holding down fire button to see if that's how you. Let me just try space. Alt, Shift, Control. No, maybe you don't. Oh, hang on. Or maybe up and throw, up and fire. Did something there to throw it. So, oh, spacebar to switch what you use. Right, okay. That's convenient, isn't it? Unfortunately, this is where I go, why didn't they make more 2-button joysticks for the Amiga? It's beggars belief the Amiga was hampered for so long with these silly 1-button joysticks. I was reading something interesting on EAB actually this week, I think it was, that apparently it took a total of 10 frames to read all of the CD32 buttons, which was news to me, so that definitely slows things down, doesn't it? If I missed something, no. But yeah, I always felt that the Amiga desperately needed some 2-button controllers. In abundance, that is, so that they were better supported. Because whilst you have got all the keyboard keys there, they're not exactly the most convenient of things to hit, so. But otherwise, you can see how fluid this version is. It's great. So I would have no qualms about playing this version alongside the Mega Drive. And whilst I have a lot of affection for the Mega Drive's FM sound, which has its own unique character. Ooh, easy, Tiger. I'm almost dead, aren't I, if I'm not careful? Yeah. Hey there, Neil, how you doing? We're playing some Aladdin on the Amiga, if you couldn't tell, so, which had a great port, so I'm just getting used to playing this with a joystick though, because I must admit I tend to play with the Mega Drive version, and it's a learning curve after not playing this version for a while. But otherwise it plays excellently. There's nothing to really say that the Mega Drive version is vastly superior. I prefer the Amiga's sound on this, I'll be honest. But I've done it again. So yeah. Oh, don't do it again. Come on, Vicky. Come on, put it together. Oh, dropped. You must be looking at this really frustrated right now. Come on. You can do this. Down. Yay! Oh! I just imagine my eyeliner is now on my cheeks. I'm not usually this pants. Right, come on. There we go. Oh, damn. It is the perfect Friday, isn't it? Beer and pizza and games. What more could you want for in life? So, at least that's what I say. Oh, I think that's handy. That was definite facepalm time with that platforming just there, wasn't it? Ooh. That was fine. This is where I need those apples rather than the sword, and it's just a little bit of a nuisance having to press the spacebar, but c'est la vie. Just got to get used to these different controls, that's the main thing. So overall it controls really well though. It's just my rotten gameplay compared to being so used to playing this with a joypad after so many years. But yeah, I've out of the two sort of Disney games that were sort of exclusively AGA on the Amiga, this was the better one out of this and Lion King, which was still pretty good on the A1200, but that was more of a pixel perfect platformer, and that applies to pretty much all versions. Whereas, despite my efforts here, died again. Yeah, the genie's face does say it all, Tim. I'm genuinely not usually this pants at this game. I might have to put it on the Mega Drive to prove it, you know. Restore my honour. Because this is my last life and I've not even passed the first level. That's atrocious. But yeah, this is definitely one of those really good late Amiga games in my books. I think this came out in was it 93 or 94? Maybe it was 94, I can't remember now, but I remember seeing it like reviewed in like Amiga format or something like that, maybe CU, and I was looking at it and thought, wow, that looks amazing, and you can imagine how disappointed I was when I found out that it wouldn't run on my Amiga 600 that I'd only just bought. But to be fair, that Amiga owners had been too stubborn in upgrading for too long, so it was good that we finally got some games that made it a bit more necessary to actually upgrade. Have I played the SNES version? Actually, no, I haven't, Tim. I've heard it's good, but I've always heard that the Mega Drive version bests it by quite a bit, by a country mile, perhaps. So, yeah, it's meant to be pretty good. I think the sound is more similar on the SNES version to the Amiga version. So, think we get the guy which at the shop in a minute, so that's if I get there, that is. It's just very different playing on a joystick, it does have to be said. There he is. What it would be? Alright, how do I do that on... Oh, there we go. Just up. Excellent. Right. Find more gems. Will do, matey boy. What do you think of the SES version there, Tim? Do you think it's good? Oh, I just want to get him. Die. No, don't kill me though. I'm right at the level end there, but I just want to get rid of him. I love the animation in this. It's really spectacular. So, it's absolutely top quality. So, it sort of reminds me of those. Those Earthworm Jim games, which that would make a really good games evening as well, but we won't be playing those tonight. But tough as nails in many respects, but still extremely good. Let's just change my weapon. But yeah, you can see that the graphics in this version are pretty much on a par with the Mega Drive version. It would have been very tough to do this on an ECS Amiga with the parallax, because unfortunately the OCS and ECS Amigas only support 8 colours per dual playfield, which is what gives you that parallax look. I mean, it could have been done just about, but obviously with AGA you've got 16 colours per dual playfield, plus you can put the sprites. The colours can go anywhere in those 256 colour registers, so yeah, it would have been a much duller game on an ECS Amiga, but it could have probably have done it. But let's face it, the Amiga 1200 was flying when by the time this came out, you know, it was selling brilliantly, so. I don't know how many Amiga 1200s were sold in the UK, to be honest with you. Oh, okay, there's nothing over there. Come on. Lion King was beautiful, yeah, it was, wasn't it, Pixels? Yeah. Oh, you've not got past the first level. I would actually say that you should try Aladdin then, because despite my earlier horrendous gameplay, which I am going to blame, oh, that's handy, or lay entirely at the feet of getting used to joystick versus joypad control, which is different. It is one of the easier platformers, I would say. But yeah, Lion King was beautiful. I read that the Amiga version was not completed, nothing to do with the development, the Amiga not being up to it. Far from it. It was actually the fact that the developer who took it on, I can't remember his name, but if you go on to CodeTapper's website, it has the full story. But basically, he assumed that if he was going to be porting the Mega Drive version, that the code would be in 68,000 assembler. But then found out that in fact the code was going to be was in C, which is really not what you would expect at all, I suppose. So unfortunately, to get it out for Christmas '94, he ran out of time. So, and that is the only reason that the Amiga version lacks the levels that the PC, SNES and Mega Drive version has. It's nothing to do with the Amiga not being up to the job, which unfortunately is sometimes assumed to be the case. yeah, the animation on these characters is just, oh, it's a cut above, isn't it? Oh, damn. Sanji says that they are different games. I think it says a little bit more polished as it was Capcom. Oh, I didn't know that. The de facto version is indeed the Mega Drive, yeah. Maybe I'll slap it on in just a minute just to show you the comparison. You will be surprised how close they are, but there's just something about the Mega Drive version that's just that little bit more slick. But that's not to say there's anything wrong with this Amiga version at all. I remember playing this for the first time probably around about maybe 95, 96 or so. And I was wowed by the quality of the graphics. It really is stunning. So the objective of this level is actually to catch the little sort of almost like crab-like things that are floating over there. That's what you're trying to get the scarabs, so... But it just goes to show that in the right hands, the good old Miggy could pull out a beautiful game that kept up with the consoles of the day, so... Oops! That was some epic platforming there, wasn't it? Right. I like the fact that you can actually just about keep momentum whilst you swipe, which obviously some I was just saying that some platformers just don't keep their responsiveness up when you're sort of attacking and jumping, so it's nice to see it all keep up. So yeah, the Mega Drive version flew out. Yeah, I think this came about the time period where sadly the Amiga was, you know, because obviously the SNES had been out for about a year or so. I seem to think the Mega Drive was, well, it was everywhere, wasn't it, in the UK by then, so that was the machine that so many people went on to after their Amiga 500s, I think, so... But, you know, the Amigan in me is obviously very proud of this excellent conversion. Oops. Now, I believe somehow up here there is the guy with the shop, isn't there? Now, there's a secret to getting up to him. I said, oh, maybe not in this version. Let's get some extra lives, why not? There we go. I'm sure in the Mega Drive version you sort of have to jump at the right time and it sucks you up at one of these pillars up to that spot, but maybe I'm misremembering. So, oh, another one of those. That's... But yeah, this is such a... It's actually quite an easy game to find for the Mega Drive, I think, just because so many did sell. But I have noticed the price of it has gone up a little bit, actually, so I think I bought my copy for not much more than £5, quite a few years ago now, admittedly, but... I'm sure, what's the name of the little monkey companion that Aladdin has? I'm sure he was in the Mega Drive version. He's lingering about here somewhere, isn't he? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this wasn't a bad game for the Amiga, was it, Graham? I totally agree. I've just been sort of saying that for me the go-to version is still the Mega Drive version. Which I have here. But on the Amiga, this was actually a pretty decent game. I certainly can enjoy it just as much as the Mega Drive, except for the joystick situation. But yeah, Abu, that's 1pixels. Thank you. But yeah, it's not a bad version, and it does show what can be done with an Amiga 1200, as the future was 8-bit Sansian in the chat says. So, it's a shame that I'm not very good at it. So, Agrabah rooftops. This is a good level. I wonder if I can get to the level where you're in the bad guy's castle. That looks really pretty. Oops. What I'm finding is that I seem to keep on moving a bit longer than I want to on this version for some reason. Wait. Switch the apples then. I think that's the thing that's just that bit easier with the Mega Drive, as I say, is the fact that, you know, it is just easier to hit another button. Don't know, ropes come out of there? I thought they did. How'd you get that to work then? Oh, there we go. Shows how rubbish my memory is. I was only playing this back at Christmas time. But yeah, I'm sure he was hanging about in that level that we just completed, so I must be mistaken. So yeah, I don't intend on playing this all evening because there's lots to do. Although I could quite happily play this all evening. But it's really nice to be able to play this actually on a real Amiga 1200, I have to say. I still find it mad that after all these years I'm able to set up the real hardware. I mean, sadly this isn't my Amiga 1200 that I had back in the day. That one died, as I've said a number of times, but die! I really should use those apples more. I think that's why I'm struggling a bit here. But yeah, this is real 1992 or thereabouts hardware. Still working as good as the day it was new. You know, and when you think just what's inside of a microchip, it's pretty incredible really, isn't it? You know, that such an intricate thing is able to, oops, to do this, so, well, that's handy. Right, where do I go here? Oh, there then. Badly timed. Ah. Right. There's the thing that way. There we go. Those apples do the trick. You can tell I'm getting absorbed into the game because I go quiet and I'm like, yeah, I'm just enjoying it. So, you never had a Mega Drive, says Graham. When my dad's seen how much goes, I said to stick with Amiga, but I said, Dad, what about the piracy? What do you mean? He said, do you want feeding or not? That sounds exactly like something my dad would have said to me. So, but yeah, this was the main reason when I was younger why we never had the consoles until I was old enough to actually buy them myself. which is when I got the SNES, because my parents were like, but the games are like £40, you know, £50, and they had a point because, you know, the games for consoles are still sort of that kind of price, maybe a bit cheaper in some cases these days. You know, you do see Switch games for like, you know, £25 for maybe Sonic Mania, which to me is good money well spent. But it's amazing how, you know, with inflation, that was a lot of money for a game. So, and my parents certainly never had that kind of money to spend on just a game. So yeah, my parents were exactly the same in that regard, and that's why for so many years I had the Amiga, which was no bad thing, because obviously for much of its life it kept a pace, but obviously in years that have since passed I've also found what I was missing out on, so I'm sure I managed to get a extra little gem over there, but maybe I'm spending too much time hunting around when I can just move forward. So let's do that. It was crackers, really. Well, at least you'd have had crackers to eat. But yeah, I mean, obviously, as soon as I could get my hands on a Super Nintendo, I did it. I mean, it was a toss-up between the SNES and the Mega Drive for me. Obviously, I fell into the SNES camp, but it was a close run thing. I don't know why I'm trying to get rid of that. Adios. But yeah. That's a bit better. Let's get rid of that guy down there. Ooh. Yeah. Woo! But yeah, you can see this is just beautifully fluid on this, so. Yeah, as Tim says, you know, when you work in a shop and surrounded by it and having access to it all, that's definitely comes with its perks, doesn't it? I mean, when I say I didn't have the consoles, it didn't really bother me too much because obviously I was of the age where I was at school and, you know, friends had Super Nintendos before I did, or Mega Drives or whatever else. And so I got to enjoy it around their houses. So I never felt like I missed out on anything. Oh, little rat bag. Let's switch to those. You are going down. Doesn't look like I'm... Oh, how do I get that? Not like that, obviously. Right, let's just get the continue point. Because I am almost dead, so that would be actually really quite helpful. See if I can get that guy down there. Too far away. Ah! Change weapon. Ah, rats. Super Magic card, yeah, I think you mentioned it last week. Yeah, no, I never had one of those. So, Tina Stormcaller says, I had a Mega Drive back in the day and only had 3 games because the carts cost so damn much, 40 odd quid carts so many more. They were, absolutely. So, I mean, 40 quid, with the pocket money that I got in 1993 would have taken me a year, virtually, about 2/3 of a year. So that's why I ended up getting a paper round. I remember once asking my dad if I could have more pocket money, and he said to me, he says, yeah, that's not a problem, you know, you can have a bit more money every week, get yourself a paper round. So I did. Had to lie about my age, but because I was 11 at the time, so I couldn't just ooh. Oi. Couldn't just get a pay rise, as it were, just like that, so... Ooh. Yeah, just imagine it was... Oh, Graham says, remember by Mortal Kombat Star Fox, amazing games. Yeah, I must admit, I never was so much into Mortal Kombat, but I love Street Fighter. I just love the pixel art in it and the actual fighting, the characters. I love it. So I was playing a bit of that this week on the SNES. So, and yeah, Sanjian says the care that kids took in choosing a game. Yeah, it was a big deal. So yeah, so Tina, is a little bit similar for me actually. I wasn't allowed anything too violent, which is, I'm guessing it may be why I also felt like the SNES was a safer option with my parents, because they were conscious of that. I'm obviously not being too serious about these things, but this is very much the time of the Jamie Bulger killings, sadly, and there was a lot of ridiculous nonsense in the press about video games and the effect that they have. And so, you know, that was having an impact for sure. I didn't actually need to kill him, did I? Oh, that's great news, Dave. Glad the swag website's updated, ready for tomorrow's Book Your Table. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely going to be there. I believe that Tim's going to be there as well. So, yeah, I'll be there. Actually, there's a little bit of a secret over here, if I remember rightly. If you go back through... I'm sure it's over here somewhere. If you go back through one of these bits here, after you've lost your life, you actually do get an extra... I'm sure there was. Okay, can't do it that way. Let's come over here. Let's come back there. Yeah, so I'll definitely be there, so... Oh, Donkey Kong Country 3, I never had that, I'll be honest. I think by the time Donkey Kong Country 3 was out, I was already into saving very hard for my PlayStation mode by that point. Oh. Ah, no, don't die. I really need to actually save these apples, because there's like a boss at the end of this stage, which is much easier to kill with the apples. Oh, you was on a youth training scheme in '93. I'm afraid I was only 10 years old back then. I was still quite young. But I'm obviously of a certain age to know what YTS is, at least, Graham, eh? Oh, this guy's a little sod. Okay. That's annoying. 24th November, yeah, Sonic Tuesday, yeah. Yeah, I do remember the hype for that at school. Everybody was talking about it. Right, just die. Okay. No, maybe not. Apples? Oh, okay. I don't usually find this so hard. Well, come on then. You need to kill this guy to get the last flute. Or have I done it? Oh no, there he is. Oh dear, he's tough on the Amiga version, so... Yeah, I am still young, Dave. That's what I tell myself. You know, I'm only 35 in 10 months, so... or something like that, I think. I'm a wee nipper still, so... Okay, why am I finding this guy so hard to kill on the Amiga version? Just dead already, please. I just don't seem to be able to get a toehold of him for some reason. Ah, that's that. Well, this is it, isn't it, Tina? Yeah, it's very much about the video nasties as well, yeah. £29.50 a week, £10 for a man, £10 for food, £9.50 for games. Yeah, that's all I am, I'm afraid. Let's just quickly flick this onto... well, actually, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go on to Rough and Tumble, but I'll bring Aladdin back in on the Mega Drive shortly. So, yeah. So another good Amiga game. So now the incredible thing about this is that this was an OCS/ECS compatible game. So. So yeah, I'm a little bit younger, but don't be too jealous. So at the end of the day, you got to experience a lot of things at the age that you was able to afford them than I did. So just look at it like that. That's all I say. But yeah, this is a pretty tough game, but it's one that I really like on the Amiga. Definitely a very late release. So you'll have to excuse if I'm not very good at this. I suppose what it is I've spent so many years playing JRPGs that I've become a bit more of a... Oh, dead already. A bit more of a tactical player with these things, but I'm getting a bit better. But I do have to say that I do find these joystick controls a bit of a pain in the bum. But this is a super pretty game for the Amiga, and it moves just as well as this on an ECS Amiga as well. But yeah, what a superb game. If only all Amiga games are up to this quality. Of the action variety, that is, so... But that'll be our friends, Teartex, that besmirched the Amiga's reputation, wouldn't it, I suppose? One of the really nice things is this does allow you to fire upwards, but a bit of a knack to it, but it does allow you to do it. Nope. Easy tiger. Damn. Yeah, I always used to go to the same newsagents that was in Braunton, which Dave would know, down on Kane Street. It used to be called Morrison's because that was the name of the family, I think, that owned it. Right opposite Kane Street School, which is where I went to primary school. That was where I bought all of my Zap 64 and Commodore format and Super Play and Amiga format and CU Amiga and the odd issue of the One Amiga and stuff like that, so... Right, come on, fire upwards, there we go. That's handy. Yay! There we are. You're in the middle of all of us, Tina. Yeah, but it... oh, yeah, I forgot I could just plug that in, actually, Graham. Yeah, to be honest with you, I was meant to get my PlayStation 2... help? Oh, that just pause it. Let's do that. Level complete? But I didn't complete it. Does help skip the level on this version? Well, that's a pain. I just wanted to pause it. P for pause. Didn't mean to skip the level, guys. Just a little change of control here, so... I forgot these are DB9. What an idiot. But yeah, usually on the Amiga I'll play with my PlayStation 2 controller with an adapter. But yeah, paper rounds were my bread and butter. I did 3 of them. One which was the free paper, the Gazette and Advertiser, which was... it was the Gazette, or was it the Advertiser, whatever, but they merged sometime in the 90s. But I worked for one of them and my job got transferred. Right, let's try that. Oh. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's a bit better. Ooh. Oh, this is... I don't want to speak too soon, but this is a downside easier than... Oh, let's get rid of... Let's come down here first. Ah. Well, yeah, it's a downside easier to die at least, so... Yeah, sorry Dave, the audio jack is a bit iffy on my SCART cable, so... Yeah, that would have been really a good idea, wouldn't it? Definitely, so... Yeah, what Tim says there about renting out the space, yeah, I don't know nothing about electronics really. I have to defer to somebody with skills to sort that stuff out, so... It's just that, unfortunately, it's never my thing. I kind of understand the components of these old systems, but, you know, what they are, what they do, why they can't do certain things, that kind of stuff, but how it all works is, as far as I'm concerned, it's all hocus pocus. So when you see, like, Neil Retro Man Cave, doing his thing with his recapping like it's changing batteries in a remote control, I'm in awe of all of that, so... As to me, it always looks like mad science, so... This is somewhat easier with the joypad, it has to be said. I'm just used to the layout more. The one thing I will say is that even after all these years, I'm more used to the SNES controller, because I do find that the Mega Drive controller is really big by comparison. I feel like my hands are so far apart playing the Mega Drive. But at least I can really mash that B button on this and... Whereas I find on the zip stick, as good a joystick as that is, it's not firing up easily though still. Okay, so maybe if you just hold the fire button down and then aim, so that seems to work better, so... Okay. That's a bit better, isn't it? So, woohoo! We're rocking and rolling. Hey there, Razor XG, hope you're well, so... Yeah, Maddie is brilliant at this stuff, Tina. I mean, she's super intelligent with all this stuff. I just don't know where to begin with it all, to be honest with you. It's yeah, another world, all that stuff to me. So, but that's okay. I mean, we're all good at different things, and you know, and I'll be honest with you, my passion doesn't lay with the actual technical side of how it all works. I appreciate it immensely, and I think it's damn clever, and I'm always in awe of, oh, done it again, of how they made this stuff work. But I have to say my passion really comes down to playing the games and creating artwork and just using these old systems. That's what I love the most. I just use them for the fun of it, so... Right. Adios. But that's what's so great about the retro community, is that there's just something for everybody. I've often wondered why, when you jump down here, you notice that the screen goes a bit different coloured, and I think must be the copper being put to use to change the colour palette. That's the only reason I can think for it, because at first I thought there was a bit of an intermittent fault on this rather dodgy SCART cable, where the red channel was, or the green channel was dropping in and out or something like that. But I think it's actually a copper effect to get the most colours possible out of... Ah, rats. Almost got a heart there, so... I'm smart though, yeah, that's what I say. At least that's what I told my parents when they got my school report. Well, it might say that I'm disruptive, but I am smart. Yeah, I could be a bit disruptive at school, sadly. I was... Well, not always. It was only... I just got bored easily by certain things. That was my problem. If I wasn't interested in it, I just wasn't interested in it. It's quite simple, really. But then, isn't that what everybody's like? But yeah, you can definitely see the colour shift when you go in these underground areas. Ooh. I was trying not to go down there and get mullered by him, but I did. I just want this to aim down and fire, but it's just... doesn't want to do it for some reason. Ah, rats. Hey Mel, I hope you're well. Oh, I would look at the chat, but as you can see, if I do, I get immediately kiboshed, so I think I'm on my last life again. But yeah, this is one of those kinds of games that actually makes you want to get good at it. It really is a great challenge. Yeah, I'm just having problems getting even the joypad to... because you can actually angle your aim down and... see if I can figure out the knack. Or is it maybe just... Okay, I think I'm doing this wrong. I think I have to hold the fire button and then change which direction I want to fire in. We will get there. But if anything, this... oh, rats. It is a great choice, isn't it, Mauro? It's wonderful, so... Yeah, programming is another thing entirely. I'm not too bad at programming, but I could be better, so... Right, let's try replaying that world. Oh, let's pause this straight away. Actually, replaying the world is just literally the stage, isn't the world, isn't it? Not the stage. I thought that was going to take us to perhaps the second stage? But obviously not. As I mentioned, I think the last time we played this, the one weird thing about Rough and Tumble is that whilst you can aim your fire, which is a damn sight better than a lot of Amiga games of this type often let you, it does mean that you the actual sort of when you fire upwards is actually at a different angle to most of the upward slopes or the downward slopes if you aim down and fire. I don't know why that is. Maybe it was just to make it harder. But if that was the case, then they certainly succeeded, so... Oh, no, I don't want to do that yet, thank you. One bit at a time. Oh, no. Just out of reach. Ah. Yeah. I actually quite like the soundtrack in Rough and Tumble as well. It's pretty bombastic, but it's nice to actually see an Amiga game that actually has sound effects as well as music. Right, why couldn't I do that the first time around? Oh. Oh, Maro's just got AdPro. That's really cool that you've managed to pick that up. So, I wasn't a massive user of AdPro in the day, it has to be said. I pretty much went straight onto Photogenics, which I still use today. You wouldn't necessarily catch me doing too much artwork in Photogenics just purely because Autodesk Sketchbook or Photoshop anybody, but I do aim at some point to do a video about like, can you actually create good 24-bit art on an Amiga 1200 someday? I just got to build up the strength in my wrists to be able to do that, so because obviously I don't have a graphics tablet for the Amiga, so, and it will require patience of a saint to do it. Oh. Come on. Come on, get me if you think you're hard enough. There we go. I have to say this is a really good shout of Graham's to plug the Mega Drive pad in. I don't know why I didn't do that before. Definitely makes this easier. Not that I'm making it look easy, it has to be said. But yeah, this is probably for me the sort of all of you. Oh, rats. First time you've seen it? Oh wow, Dave, yeah. No, I don't rage quit, Tim. I'm yeah, I'm not really that kind of I think what it is, I don't know what it is actually, I've just never really been Of course, obviously, I do drop the odd F-bomb I mean, the other day, because like my day job is website development, and I was having a problem where we use something called GhostLab to sort of synchronise development between sort of the desktop and an iPad and a mobile phone, and it just allows us to more easily debug sort of problematic CSS, for example, which we occasionally get issues with. Having problems getting past the first level now. But I had a problem this week where for some reason it just would not synchronise properly, and every time I tried to inspect the problematic element, it would just basically crash. And I did drop a few F-bombs that day, but I've just been on the tail end of a project to develop a 10-language multilingual e-commerce website with different payment gateways for different regions of the world in 6 weeks, and I'm basically the only dev on the project. So I think it was justified after 6 weeks that little things like that were getting to me. Don't die just yet. Do with firing upwards here. It definitely has a knack to the firing action on this, it has to be said. You basically have to hold down fire and then aim the direction. It sort of makes sense. So, but I'm definitely enjoying it. So, I've never walked out of employer. Yes, I have actually, Dave. Yeah. Yeah. No, I have walked out of an employer before, but I never did it with all the shouting and screaming, shall we say. But I left them with no doubt that I was not to be taken for a ride. So, but I think there are ways of dealing with these things or the ways that I prefer to deal with them, which is to be firm and professional about it, shall we say. I'm not sure it's always reciprocated, but at least I can walk out with my head held high, that I've held myself to my own standards, I suppose. But yeah, I love running guns. It's so much fun. We want to play some Metal Slug sometime. That would definitely be on my must play. I've got the Metal Slug Anthology for the PS2, which is a superb collection if you've not got it. So I know obviously a lot of people say, well, you need to get yourself an AES and Neo Geo to get the real experience, but don't forget, you know, even the Neo Geo has a bit of slowdown on Metal Slug, so why am I going that way? I always get kiboshed if I go that way. Right, let's get the heart. Die! This is going quite well this time, I feel. I've got a better feeling about it this time. Right, that gets him. Yeah, this is... So the thing is with these enemies, they spawn from those little sort of pods there, and when they stop flashing, that's when you know you're pretty much safe. I did see on Gumtree about a week or two ago a Amiga 1200 that was just listed as a Commodore. You know, that was all it was listed. Oh, shite. let's get rid of these guys. I was trying to save this for the... Ah, no. I would follow more of the chat, guys, but I'm just kind of trying to complete this level because as yet it's eluded me, so... But I think the animation in this game is really top-notch as well. It's really quite special. It's definitely got the fluidity that a game like this needs. So, oh, Dave loved playing this at Metal Slug at the Bridgewater Arcade. Not somewhere I've ever been, I'll be honest, or had been in back then. So, no, not Stripe, unfortunately, Dave. It was this has been the problem with it, sadly, is that it's been world pay for most regions of the world, but in the US that they had to use for some reason Wells Fargo, which has just been an absolute living nightmare to deal with. Oh, how did I die? But I did. So... do we give this one more go? Well, I don't know what the time is. Let's have a little look. It's 9:15 already. Wow. Let's play some Mega Drive, I think. So we can't exit out of this one gracefully. So let's. Oops, not that. Flip back to the main screen. Here we go, I think we're all good there. Stick that back on. Right, let's just switch things over here. Hope you're enjoying the stream, guys. It's really lovely to play some games with you all again. So that's going to need to come on this way. And I need to plug this in now. Right. You'll see the Amiga screen go a bit iffy whilst I plug in the Mega Drive SCART cable. Right, there we are. Just so that we can compare just a little bit, I'll just pop on for like, I say 5 minutes, but it'll always be more than that. Just the Mega Drive version of Aladdin there, so because why not? So. Yeah, Yuck with Payment Gateways, definitely Dave, it's been a bit of a nightmare, but I think we're winning, so yeah. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, bear with, I've got to actually switch off the Amiga because I've run out of power plugs there. There we go. You can tell it's real hard when somebody has to plug something in, so... right, let me just top up my beer as well and then we'll be good to go, so... You'll notice that I'm doing that away from the computers and stuff now, so after the other week's smash glass, just a bit bollocks, isn't it? Right, let's just move that back a bit. Okay, hopefully you can see everything okay. Let me just turn off the Mac audio. There we go. I'm hearing everything loud and clear here, so if you could just confirm that you can hear the Mega Drive okay, we'll give this a little go and then we'll move on to something like Strider or Gunstar Heroes or something like that, so... I love those introductions, they're great. Don't think we need to... We'll just leave the difficulty on normal. Yeah, so you can see here that the triggers are sword B, throw A, jump C, so... Yeah, that might actually throw me a bit to start with, so you'll have to bear with me, so... So A, throw B. Great. Okay, so we get the same sort of instructions of what's what, so... For some reason Siri just thinks that I'm talking to it, but since I never use Siri... Okay. Right. Okay, apples, swipe, jump. Yeah. Okay. I think we're back in business. You can see that, by comparison, it is definitely much more fluid than the Amiga version. But that doesn't mean to say that the Amiga version isn't playable. It just moves differently. This is just going to take me a little bit of a while to get used to the fact that I've not got up for jump anymore. But you can see that this is pretty much running at a full 50 frames or whatever it is a second, so because obviously this is PAL territory, so it's not going to be running at 60, so this is what I mean about being able to throw the apples with another button as well. It does make it a lot easier. Oh, almost lost it there. But yeah, this is my default version to go for, so... There is actually also some subtle differences here and there with the layering and so forth, with the parallax and the playfields, but largely they're identical, I would say. So there we go. Whoops. Also, you would see that the display is a bit different for the player status. So But yeah, this is a really great version. Obviously, they're both Motorola 68,000 base, so that makes them automatically awesome. Oh, face the right way, love. That's better. But yeah, this is one heck of a fluid game. I love it. Ooh. There's Apu. And how am I going to get him? Yay! Means I get the Apu bonus level at the end, so... Or Abu, or have... whatever his name is. Oh, there's the market store. Let's just grab an extra life. Because that's all I've got the bonuses for. I will catch up with the chat in a minute, guys. I'm just going to complete this level and then woohoo! Just like that. Right, let's see if I can get this. Yay! Ooh. Ah. Yeah, the Amiga's music is better than the Mega Drive version, definitely. Lobsterminator. There's no doubt about that. So, I can't remember what you do for this bonus level. Oh, I've got to swipe things, haven't I? Oh, nice try, but not good enough. So. But yes, the Amiga's music is definitely better than, I think, in terms of atmosphere than the Mega Drive version, but I still enjoy the Mega Drive's music, I'll be honest. So, one of the things I do notice is that when you jump, it seems that sometimes that the parallax clouds stop in the background. I think that's something that wasn't in the Amiga version. In fact, I'm not even sure the Amiga version had the clouds. But also there's a lot more dithering in the colours. But it doesn't take away from it, so... I think the thing that really wins the day on this version is just how crisp those graphics are, how fluid it plays. And yeah, and of course obviously the better controls that you get with the Mega Drive controller are not to be underestimated. I'm sure there's something over there I can get, but I won't bother, so... Ah! No, don't die! Oh, whoops. Hit the wrong button there. Yeah, that's always... actually, there's one thing I missed in the D-Paint video a little bit, was about the serial numbers. I just saw Maro mention about AdPro not having a serial number, which is something that I should have mentioned for Deluxe Paint 5, because that does actually require a serial number as well. I don't know if the boxed versions of Deluxe Paint AGA also require it. I've got a feeling that they possibly do, because the Commodore bundled AGA version obviously is pre-registered, so I should have mentioned that when buying things like Deluxe Paint 5 you want to make sure that it comes with a serial key, because you will actually need it, so otherwise you'll just be back to being Ian Coggins again with that version that's floating about on the internet, so that's assuming that obviously you want to buy the original software, that is. So I did have a similar thing when I repurchased Drawers Studio. Well, a little while. Oh, can I not get back up there now? Oh, rats, that's annoying. I want to go up there. Oh well. Yeah, that's the bit I was thinking of, which you push it up to get to this guy on the Mega Drive version. I wasn't imagining it, was I? So yeah, there are subtle level design differences in the versions, that's for sure. Not that they're, you know, anything's better or worse. Oh, almost got that continue point. So, hey, Era 42, hope you're well. Yeah, Dave is involved in the swag events. I met Dave for the first time at the swag event back in January, was it? Do you know what? I went over there to open up beer and I never did it. I told you I'm forgetful, so... This week I went to go and get the salt and pepper and I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere for it, I couldn't find it anywhere, which is a bit annoying because I was cooking rice that really could do with a bit of salt in it. Anyway, so I gave up looking. I thought, well, there you go, I'll just add a bit of extra soy sauce, which is not a bad solution. And oh, that's right, and I went to go and get some hummus out of the fridge as well. And where did I find the salt and pepper pot? In the fridge. So I can be really quite forgetful at times. I think that's just the sign of a busy mind rather than me already falling to or succumbing to being all of 36 and a quarter. Well, I'm not obviously, because I'm still 35 and 3/4 or whatever it is. I'll make this my last go on this until I lose a life, because I don't want to just spend the whole time playing Aladdin, because there's the fun in that. So I think next we might play some Gunstar Heroes, because that's just a classic. Well, to be fair, everything we're playing today is classic, so... Hey! Face the right way. There we go. That's a good point. I'd have needed to have got back to that point to get the scarab, so I was never going to win at the last go anyway, so... I don't know if you noticed it, but it looks like there's goofy hieroglyphics on this this column here. How cool's that? Yeah, I always thought that was a nice little detail. But yeah, I always found the animation in this version just, oh, I love it. I really do. I think that's why I really like the idea of playing games like Sonic Mania on the Switch. Ooh, that was a badly timed jump. Let's get that scarab. Ah. I said I was going to make this my last go, but now I don't want to. There you go. I wasn't imagining it. There is Abu, or whatever his name is, jumping up and down the sky. He's not in the Amiga version. Why? He needs to be. 35 would be great. Oh, sorry, Error 42. Right, let's see if I can do this. Oh, I just don't time those things very well. But yeah, we will go on to some Gunstar Heroes after this, so... After this life. It's just, this is a great game. But they're all great games we're playing. We're going to be playing some amazing games today. We have been playing some amazing games. Yeah, see, on this version you can get rid of that guy with the sword or whatever. Whereas on the Amiga version it didn't want to know, so... I love that little sound effect of the magic rope as well, as it flitters up. It's amazing how powerful these 16-bit machines were, really, when you think about it. So, when you look at how fluid this is, it's easy just to think, oh, well, things didn't start getting really good until sort of the PlayStation. I can't get the words out. PlayStation. I've only had the one beer tonight, so days. But yeah, or indeed the Saturn and that, but you know, the okay. Need to dispatch you because you're going to be annoying. But yeah, I do find the joypad controls on this version a lot more intuitive overall. You get used to it on your Amiga, there's no doubt about it. But this is a whole lot of easier. Ooh, extra life there. I wonder how you get that. Hey there, Dirty Boy Sings to God. Hope you're well. So, yeah, I agree, Error 42. I think the non-3D games in many respects have aged better. There are some exceptions. Like, for example, I think, one of my favourite JRPGs on the PlayStation is Grandia. And it has 2D sprites with a 3D world, and whilst the 3D obviously isn't up to the standards of obviously you know, modern systems and so forth, I do find that it's still really wonderful to explore it. I still think that's a 3D game that has aged really well. Oh, Oh. I wanted to get that gem. There we go. There you go, up on there. Da 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 da. Yeah, it is the long name Dirty Boy Sings to God, but what else should I call you? It would seem rather unfair just to change your name on your behalf, so if you have something you prefer, you just let me know and I'll try my best to remember it, so. But yeah, I'm really glad you could join us this evening. It's really nice to have such a lovely bunch of people who are interested in watching little old me just noodle about playing games, so. I was saying this week that see, that's a lot easier on the Mega Drive, isn't it? Just, there you go, like so. Why do I have so much trouble with that on the Amiga? Now, I've got to get up there somehow now. Oh, get that. That's right. Yay! This life is going to last forever. Don't know where I put my drink. There it is. DBSTG, yeah, that works. Of course, assuming that you're not religious, I could just call you God for short. So, that's got a ring to it, so with a name like that. Shouldn't have jumped down here, really. Ah, rats. How do you like them apples? Yeah, see, now that's the bit I remember. With the extra life after the continue. I seem to think if you go back, and no, it doesn't reappear. Adios. The one thing you just have to be a little bit careful of with the old joypads is that you're facing in the right direction when you go to strike out, because I do find that sometimes I am facing in the wrong direction, because as I said, I do find the Mega Drive pad really rather large. You know, compared to the SNES controller and that, it's definitely bigger. 7 apples, is that all I've got? Oh, but at least I don't have to get that dude again, so. Oh. Do I not get the extra stuff this time? Oh. Obviously not. I'm not timing my jumps very well here. Oh! I said I just want to beat this guy. Yeah. Let's just rush this bit and. we'll just beat this boss and we'll get to the next stage, and then we'll play some Gunstar Heroes. So, oh, thank you, Dirty Boy. Dirty Boy sings to God. That sounds wrong. Calling that. Yeah. Maybe we'll stick to DB if that works. So, DB works for me. So, but I'm really glad you're enjoying the Deluxe Paint videos. I'm going to be doing another live Deluxe Paint stream this weekend. So, oh, is it a band name? Oh, okay. Band song. It's a band song based name. Oh, that's cool. It's all good. So, well, you know, more than happy to provide the pixel art fun. So, right, now this is me playing it a bit more properly. A bit more properly, not totally properly. Yay! Have I got streaming addiction already? I think I probably have. I thought this was going to be the most awkward thing ever to do in life, but oh, yeah. Oh, I'm really glad to hear that you're getting back into your D-Paint those. The future is 8-bit. I refer to Tim as Samsian. Yeah. But yes, it's really good to. That's why I wanted to do the Deluxe Paint stuff, because I wanted to inspire people to do it. I mean, like when you see this beautiful pixel art that you've got in Aladdin, for example, I just think, well, loads of people would love to create that, and you know, and I just want to be able to share how to do it. And I just think there's an aesthetic to all of this that is. When I look at that, I just think that is just so stunningly beautiful. It really is. It makes me feel like I'm at the movies watching a Disney movie. So, yeah. Oh, the Cardiacs. Yeah, I've heard of those actually. Yeah, DB. So, I've not heard of the song though. So, I'm not sure why the boss music has such specific sound pixels actually. Oh yeah, no, I totally agree, Doug, and I'm glad that you know you're doing the serious side of the Amiga stuff as well, because obviously you know not obviously this is not saying it to like the big I am kind of way, but the Amiga was more successful in Europe, but predominantly that was because it was as a games machine, whereas it did have some use as a home computer, with a bit of word processing and so forth, but fundamentally people got into the Amiga because of the games over here, by and large. Which is a shame, because obviously the Amiga had so much more to offer than just games. But I soon diversified my interests as well, and that's why I am so keen to highlight the Amiga's skills in so many other areas, because I don't want... how do I get back up there then? Oh, there's a little block there. But yeah, that's why I enjoy your videos as well, Doug, because they speak to all the things that I used to do on my Amigas as well. Maybe not all of the VLab motion stuff, that was a bit beyond what my abilities or budgets were, shall we say, back in the day, but certainly Amiga Vision and Scala and all of that kind of stuff was all my kind of thing really with the Amiga. So I've missed getting that guy up there, that's a pain. But yeah. Oh, I love the boss battle music in Final Fantasy VII DB. It's one of my favourites. I love the Final Fantasy games. I'm actually playing through Final Fantasy 4 on my Game Boy. Well, it's not Game Boy Advance, it's my DS. But it plays Game Boy Advance games, so I'm really enjoying that at the moment. It's like the SNES version, but with just a slightly better translation, but it still refers to Spoony Bard, which I love. If you're not sure what Spoony Bard refers to, then there's just a famous line in Final Fantasy 2 as it was in North America, or Final Fantasy 4 as it was in its home territory of Japan, but there's just one line in it where this character says, "You're such a spoony bard," or something similar to that, so I'm guessing that they probably took that for... Oh, I've done it again. There used to be this sort of slightly derogatory term when I was younger calling somebody a spooner, like they're a bit pathetic. So I'm guessing it might be where they took it from. Oh, how do I get up there then? Oh, that's so. Dooby dooby doo. I love the parallax. Oh, bats. Damn bats. I love the parallax in this level where you get... Oh, I think I'm almost dead. And the spike got me. Yeah. Right. I think we're Mega Drive... Well, not Mega Drive out. We're Aladdin out, so... Oh, that's really good to hear, though, that you was, really creative in Deep Paint, though, Tim. That you really got into it. That's what it's all about, is just promoting creativity, so... Oh, no, that's not good. There's a bit of history of that in the West End, isn't there, so... That's not good, Pixels, is it, when the cinema starts falling on you? What is a documentary focused on the team building the Amiga? It's so wonderful. I love the detail from Dev Team. It's so interesting. Well, there's many. A lot of the big YouTubers like Kim Justice, Nostalgia Nerd, in the UK at least, have done documentaries on it. Obviously, putting together those videos are really difficult, but there are a few little inaccuracies in there, but nothing major really, but they are both fantastic. The one that I really enjoyed, though, was... Well, there's two that are really worth watching, I think, if you've not seen them, is the one that Ahoy put out around about January or February this year, How the Amiga Flatlined or Languished. That's brilliant. It's amazingly well put together, and really looks at that difficult period in the Amiga's gestation between about 1985 through to about 1990, late 89 maybe, so... That's really worth watching. That's a real treat. The other one that I recommend is there's one where the original Amiga guys are interviewed. It's a video that was videoed in about 1993 or 92. I can't remember, but if you look up J Minor interview or something like that, you'll find it. So that's very interesting. So yeah, maybe that's what I'm referring to, DB. Then in that case, it's probably the J... I can't remember what it's called on YouTube or who posted it, but there is one, and they're all wearing their... Well, some of them, like Carl Sass and Ralph, are wearing their grey bomber jackets with the original Amiga Corp logo on the back. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what it is, isn't it? You used to get called spoons or spooners if you did something stupid, so I think that's where the Japanese probably came with you spoony bard. Like, you jammy so-and-so, you stupid whatever, so... Yeah, Ahoy is one of my favourites as well, Pixels, so... Yeah, I've thought about playing Prince of Persia, actually, on here before, so... Look out for that, DB. Right, I think it's Gunstar Heroes time, so... Great game. I really do need to clean the contacts of this cartridge though, because it sometimes gets a bit iffy, so hopefully it's alright. I bet the manager was really apologetic. Sorry, I'm reading the messages a little bit out of sequence. The formidable treasure. Oh yeah, the Bedrooms of Billions documentaries. I love those. I really love the 8-bit one, and the Amiga one was very, very good as well. The only downside was it covered the early history so well, and then it just basically forgot to tell the end of the story almost. But I still think it's excellent. I really enjoy those, and good old Gunstar Heroes. So I love the music, I must say. Right, I will say this now. Let's make it easy, just so that I stand a fighting chance, because I'm not brilliant at this game, but I love it. So I don't wish to wish out, but which player do I choose? I love the manga aesthetic in this game as well. It's oh, I don't know what to go for. Let's go for the general purpose. Force fires rapidly to... Let's go with that. So, which stage will start at the beginning? Let's just refresh me with the controls. But the graphics in this are just amazing, and the gameplay is incredible. So. Just having to remind myself of all the controls because they're a little bit different to what I've been used to lately, so I need to play some more Contra free on the SNES, I think, to get my woo! Isn't this great? I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Rough and Tumble, but this is on another level. I'd love to get a hold of Alien Soldier for the Mega Drive, but it's like £100 at least. But at least we got it in the PAL territory, which can't be said very often. Let's get that. Okay. Need to get this guy. Oh. We've obviously got a close range weapon, haven't we? There you go, that's better. Just have to reacquaint myself with this a little bit. I love how it counts down sort of how much energy the boss has got left. Gives you a sense of like, am I almost there? Can I just hold out just that little bit longer? So it is more Metal Slug DV, so oh, I need this weapon actually. But yeah, it's definitely more frantic, that's for sure. It's in the Contra vein of things, isn't it? But then, and then some. But it's just all the run and gun that I love. It's, oh yeah. I'd love it if I could get a game like this on the Amiga. But I just don't think it's... You might be able to do it with a suitably decent AGA Amiga, but I think this is where the Mega Drive comes into its own. Sorry, Amiga fans. I'm an Amiga fan too, but I choose to play all sorts of systems so I can enjoy games like this. Oh, this is a tough bit. This always knackers my thumbs, this part of the stage. best thing to do this bit is just to keep moving. Which direction you come from again? So, spinning driver, dragon punch. There he is. Let's get my let's get that over because he jumps about here, I think. That's it. Oh. Almost there. Boom. I will read the chat soon, guys. It's just that this is just pretty epic, to say the least. It's hard to keep track of the chat as you're playing Gunstar Heroes, so we'll catch up with that soon. But I implore you to get this game however you can. I think it's actually on the Mega Drive Classics on the Switch. So, I'm almost out of vitality. So definitely get it on there. So. Woo! Could have done with some vitality, mate. To get that. Yeah, this is just, I love this game. Love it. Woo! It's all kicking off. Right, let's see what we can do. This is usually quite a safe spot here. Yeah. Woo! Hell yeah! Oh, amazing. Admittedly, I do have to set to easy, so, you know. Okay, let's just catch up with the chat. So, sorry I've been ignoring you guys, but it's very hard to play this game if I'm there we go. Yeah, Turrican's probably the closest to this DB actually on the Amiga, and that's why I love Turrican too, so yeah. Is it a fox? What, like the character? If that's what you mean, Error 42. No, it's not a fox, it's just sort of like manga or anime style, so yeah. Oh, the blocks looking guy you mean? I don't know actually, so I think that robot was trying to tweak my nose. Yeah, it is a great looking boss, isn't it? So yeah, so looks like John driving that thing. It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Yes. Ever so wonly. So yeah. So wonly, yeah. Don't get me singing, it's not good, so yeah. But yeah, it's just an epic game. Treasure really knew what they were doing, so right, let's go to the next stage. I was going to have a glug of my drink. Let's do that because this is yet another level of frenetic action. Where are they going to come from? I've got drawn into the game again. Oh no, I've gone quiet. Oh. That's what happens when you play this. It just draws you in. It craves your attention. So I love the idea of this train going vertically down. What madcap stuff is that? Find out see down there. This down. Definitely kicking off here. Oh, there's the bad guy. So I've got ahead of the train, cool. Up here should see us through. 16 vitality, it's not looking good, is it? Ooh! Oh, yes. Okay, we'll do our best. Hopefully we can manage this, so... Wow, that's some crazy shit there. Vitality 0. Yeah. Could do with a better weapon here, but never mind. He's getting close. Ooh. Ooh. Nothing is ever that easy. Ah. Ooh. Let me out. Oh. Foxes, yeah. This really does show what the Mega Drive can do, doesn't it, Sansi? And this is... I was watching something the other day that sort of said that in many respects the Mega Drive was like a mini Neo Geo, and I think I kind of agree with that. I mean, it obviously didn't render out everything as sprites like the Neo Geo does, but my goodness. It's one powerhouse, this Mega Drive, so you think it's still a 68,000 running at virtually the same speed as the Amiga 500. Obviously the hardware is just that little bit just that little bit newer than the Amiga technology, as it were, so So yeah, it's just an epic system, it really is. I think the games have aged so well on the Mega Drive. When you look at sort of things like, I hope we get some time to play some Alicia Dragoon soon. And also games like, I think Snedstrong covered Ranger X this week. That's another great game. So, also Atomic Runner. I love that game on this was the Mega Drive. Sorry. Going. Okay. But yeah, it really is just on another level, isn't it? Ooh. look at that. Thanks, Mara. It's great to have you along. So, yeah, thanks for joining us. Look out for our Kickstarter stream this weekend, should you be around. So, yeah, that would be the Neo Geo DB, as Mara correctly says. So, yeah. PC Engine was another system, but that wouldn't have had games as expensive as that. PC Engine was a more affordable system from NEC, so, but yeah, the Neo Geo, you had the MVS in the arcades and the AES in the home. Occasionally you would see one of them on Games Master, but that was the only time I would ever, see a Neo Geo. And the first time I actually got to play a Neo Geo was last year at one of the Replay Play Expo events. So that was awesome. So I actually finally played it because I've got the only Neo Geo. Well, I've got Metal Slug, which obviously originated on there, but Twinkle Star Sprites, which I love. And if you buy, there's a Twinkle Star Sprites for the PS2 Rainbow. Oh, it's over there. I might have to go and get it. But basically, if you complete the PS2 Twinkle Star Sprites, the bonus is that it has the Neo Geo version of Twinkle Star Sprites, which is amazing. So I love that game. But seriously, Neo Geo these days is just as expensive to own these days as it was back then. You'll see a lot of people just have the MVS boards and the MVS carts, because they do tend to be just that little bit cheaper. So yeah, I was going to say TurboGrafx in USA, PC Engine in Japan, only most people just imported them over here as far as I'm aware. Oops. I don't know that I've played this level recently, or if at all actually. I'm a bit new to this, so I don't remember this stage. Might be wrong. I think the general principle of just shoot as much as you can works here. I'm guessing you probably die if you fall off the bottom of the screen. But I reckon the Mega Drive is a really good, it's got some fantastic games like obviously Gunstar's Heroes, which you see here, Atomic Runner, which I'll show maybe next week. You've got Ranger X, which I mentioned was tough as nails, it's really good. And if you're feeling really rich, you've got Aliens, is it Alien Soldier? On the, yeah, I did die there. Which, or of course, obviously you could get yourself an EverDrive or whatever they're called. Yeah, so, there's lots of really good games on the Mega Drive to be had. I'm gonna die! To pick up pace, isn't it? That's the thing with this. So good. So good. I love the vivid graphics also that you get in the background, sort of a lot of Mega Drive games, because obviously it has quite a low palette count in some respects. It's only got 512 colours overall. There are special modes with shadows and stuff, which gives you a few more. But generally speaking, it has less colour count than an OCS or ECS Amiga, albeit it can show more than one screen at once, generally speaking, for games like this. But I do enjoy those vivid backgrounds with the clouds. I just think they're so atmospheric. I think that in Amiga games, dithering wasn't used enough, because I just think that on a CRT, it gave the illusion of transparency. There's a lot to be said for it. I really do think that. So maybe I'm just being nostalgic, but that's what we're all here for, I guess. And none of us are here for because we love playing only modern games. We played a game from 1993, for heaven's sake. So yeah, I just absolutely adore this game. It's so good. I'm sorry I'm not keeping up with the chat brilliantly, guys. It's just that it's so hard to play this game and look at chat log. But I think it's probably more interesting to see me actually having a half decent attempt at actually playing this game than it is to see me just nose it up whilst I chat to you. I mean, obviously, bear in mind I am playing this on the easy level, so, you know. Oh, I don't like that weapon. I shouldn't get that. Oh, mine first hand is quite lazy. Oh, that could be good, that out there. Oh, it's a laser. I quite like that, actually. Oh, bus is approaching. What's this? Swapping reg. Swapping reg? Hopefully it's not Reginald Perrin. I need to get under it. Easy target. But the aesthetics of this game are just incredible, so... Everything is rare on eBay, yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. Dirty Boys Things to God, or DB, shall we say. Like, for example, let me just go and grab it. Oh, don't fall. So, obviously this is a great collection for PS2. It's very much like the forerunner to what you've got these days with Mega Drive or Genesis classics, but, you know, like for example, I do actually own the cartridges of some of these games, but there's some of them here, like, I don't mind Streets of Rage, I quite enjoy it to an extent, but I've never bought any of the original cartridges because they're all on the here, and also I don't own any of the original on the Mega Drive, at least Fantasy Star games, but they were all on here. So, and this cost me about £2, so I can play this just as well. And it's actually really good. So PS2 Mega Drive collection. You've got Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and 2, Fantasy Star 2, 3 and 4, and I saw Fantasy Star 4 in my local CEX here in Worthing, £130. So bit of a no-brainer. Echo the Dolphin, Kid Chameleon, Flicky. There's also the Vector Man games in here, all the Streets of Rage games. Yeah, it's a Comic Zone as well, so Altered Beast. So yeah, it's a bit of a no-brainer. Like for me, it is anyway. So we've got Shinobi 3, that is, not the other Shinobi games. So, but yeah, this was a really good pickup. And also talking about compilations at Taito Legends. So this is this one contains Rainbow Islands, New Zealand Story, Rastan. What else you got in here? Obviously Space Invaders, Kicks, which I quite like, or Quicks, how it's pronounced. Oh, the Ninja Kids. I quite like that actually. So yeah, but yeah. Oh yeah, and obviously Volified, or Volfied. But yeah, Volfied and Space Invaders, Rainbow Islands, New Zealand Story, and Rastan are my favourites on this. And this was the Twinkle Star Sprites game that I was on about, so yeah. So yeah, this contains the original Neo Geo Twinkle Star Sprites as well, so obviously that was Japan only, as you can tell, so they're so kawaii. Oh, I love the Japanese manga aesthetic. So anyway, so let's just catch up to chat. So yeah, absolutely what Sanzian says, some games on the PC Engine now go for £200-400. Yeah, it's the bottom line is that, and I think Chinny Vision mentioned this a few weeks ago, maybe in a Twitter comment or something, but it's just the fact that a lot of us are now of the age where we're in jobs where we can generally afford stuff that we could only dream of when we were of the age that this stuff was new. So we got more disposable income, and that's what's driving up the prices. But yeah, Mega Drive is a really good system to collect for, as Sanjian said. So SNES prices are totally out of control. They have been for years, and actually, to be honest with you, that's why I mostly use my. Let me just switch this back to webcam a moment, because I feel like doing a piece to camera just a moment. So yeah, there we go. So this is why I feel that. You know, the SNES, that's why I like the SNES Classic, because as much as the SNES was my first games console that I bought, and I still have one in the loft, but I've only got Super Mario World for it. You know, to purchase things like Illusion of Time, Secret of Mana for it, all the games that I had years ago but foolishly sold for pennies 20 odd years ago, you know, I'm not going to pay, you know, 80 odd pounds for a box copy of Secret of Mana, as much as I love the game. So that's why I stick to you know, the SNES Classic, because it actually contains a good majority of the games that I like. And one of the things I'm hoping to start this week, which you guys might be interested in, is Chrono Trigger. Never actually released over here, sadly, in the PAL region, but it was released in North America. I've got it for the DS. Love it on the DS. It's a very faithful port to the original, but I was going to do some live stream of Chrono Trigger, so look out for that. It's one of my favourite JRPGs of all time. So yeah, but everything is rare on eBay. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I saw today, now I've had to be careful because I know they're following me on Twitter, but they've posted the Amiga 600 Lemmings pack that I bought in 1993 on eBay. And bear in mind, I bought it brand new in 1993 for £189 from Silica. And it came with a few extra games like Zool and so forth, which we went through last week. And I thought, wow, a boxed version, because I no longer have my box for my Amiga 600. And I thought, wow, £199. That, okay, it's going to have to be recapped, but if it's all complete, not too bad. What do you get for £199 then, guys? The box and some polystyrene. No Amiga, just the box and some polystyrene. Yeah. Maybe not many of those Lemmings packs were sold for the Amiga 600. I don't know. Maybe it is rare, but it strikes me a lot of money. £200 for a cardboard box with some polystyrene. So I won't be buying it, that's for sure. So, the PS2's Rule of Rose the other day for £2,500. Do you know what that flashed up? Rule of Rose. It must have been on Twitter, somebody posted it. I don't know what that is, I'll be honest. So, but yeah, sounds you're right. SNES prices are out of control. Mega Drive and Master System are much more accessible. Even Amiga prices for games are ridiculous. And when you consider how fallible these poor old floppy disks are, you know, that they're well known for my original copy of Deluxe Paint just hanging about the pad. You know, it's, you know, how fallible floppy disks are. It amazes me that you see copies of Dynablaster up for £100 or so. It's not for me to say, is it? I mean, I've got quite a lot of original games, but I do expect them to fail one day. So, Sonic 2 is rare for £1 million. I think you should, Sanji, because I hear that Sonic Tuesday was a complete flop. You know, there might only be 1 or 2 copies out there. So yeah. Hey, Colin316, hope you're well. So you was never keen on Gunstar Heroes. So we're going to switch over to another game now. So Todd Carty blew his nose near it. Wow. But, you know, you better not tell Barbara Windsor, because she might be telling you, if you remember the EastEnders storyline, that game may give you... Well, you know what I'm on about. I mean, I'm not saying... I don't want to say it's a joke, because it's a reference to that episode where she said, "Get out of my pub," because poor old Mark Fowler, as played by Todd Carty, had sadly AIDS. So, and she thought... Well, she was propagating a stereotype that sadly went around about that at the time and so forth. So I don't know why I'm saying this. But yeah, I do have a tendency to go off on one. So, but yeah, if Todd Carty was near Sonic 2, definitely worth £1,000,000. So, have you lost the stream? Sorry. Is it back now? So, oh, good. Yeah, I always wanted a Neo Geo back in the day, Colin Field 6. I want a Neo Geo now, but it's just too expensive. So I've actually picked up quite a lot of Neo Geo games that were released on the PS2. So like I say, you've got Twinkle Star Sprites there. That was originally out on the Neo Geo. Actually, just whilst I'm here... Yeah, so I can't find my copy of Metal Slug Anthology. I think I might have lent it actually to a friend, so might have to see if they've still got it, because I would like it back. It was about, now I think about it, probably about 6 months ago. It was last autumn, so I forgot about that. But anyway, but this is Last Blade 1 and 2, so yeah, so this is another excellent game. I've only kept it in the plastic thing because it came with it when I bought it from Japan, so I thought, well, I'll keep it, but I do play it. I do, you know, so this is a good way of playing some of those Neo Geo classics. So yeah, Last Blade 1 and 2, I love that game. So it's tough as nails, but the pixel art is something else, so we'll stream this one day. So so that's my way of getting my Neo Geo fix, to be honest with you. So yeah. Oh yeah, Rough and Tumble. Yes, we enjoyed Rough and Tumble earlier. So yeah, we're gonna probably play some Strider next, I think. So maybe I can get a polystyrene A600 to go with it. Yeah. Yeah, C60 oil prices are going up. Yeah, definitely. And Guyana Sisters, as Sanjun says. So. Oh, aren't you Amiga streaming tonight? I have to go for another 2 hours. Oh, I'm gonna need another drink before then. So. I didn't realise it went. Oh, that's handy to know, because I was planning on playing a couple more games, because kind of enjoying it, you know. So there's no expectation that you guys are going to hang around, but yeah. So I'm going to take a comfort break in a minute. So but the other thing I saw, and I think Maddie pointed it out in a video that she put up this week about CU Amiga magazine, that somebody's put a copy of the One Amiga up for $3,000 on eBay. Snap it up, folks. So yeah, Todd Carty played Mark Fowler in EastEnders. So, and he also I went to a panto once here in Worthing, and he played Buttons in the panto. So he was quite good actually. So right, so I'm just gonna have a little comfort break. I'm gonna be right back, and don't go away. So see you in a moment, folks. Sorry, I couldn't help it, guys. Yeah, I am pretty much a nutcase, so you're in good company there. So I do need a screen, don't I? A hot tub screen, but yeah, I don't think you're going to get me going down the beach here at Worthing on a tea tray into the sea at this time of year. So yeah, sorry, I just had to do that. So oh dear, how funny, eh? I'm enjoying a Cronenberg, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, definitely enjoying a Cronenberg tonight. So I've been the gaming keeps me in need of a beer on a Friday night. That's what I say. So yeah, you're drinking the same thing as well, do you? Hey Kev, hope you're doing well. So yeah, I do need to do, but as you might have noticed, I've been spending a bit more time actually trying to get the thumbnails to the videos to look a bit better. So yeah, so I do need to do some back in 5 minutes things. So maybe I'll do a what do you call it, stop motion thing with Zippy and Evil there. So okay, so let's move on. I think it's some time for some Strider, so let's get some Strider. So it's your favourite beer. I must admit, I actually quite like the wheat beers or the blonde beers. So yeah, they're definitely my favourites. But I don't mind a Cronenberg. So right, let's flick that off. So yeah, we've had some Gunstar guys. Let's go on to Strider now. Just turn down this audio. Okay, hopefully the audio is going to be okay. Where is City? You'll laugh at this, Tim, but they're actually in the back of my car. So because I drive a Fiat Panda. I'm sure you'll see them next weekend actually, so as I drive a Fiat Panda, so it's my Panda called Sue, obviously. Yeah, you'll have a bit of Guinness at the weekend, Colin. I must say, I'm not really a Guinness drinker, I'm not, or stouts, or, yeah, I find it a bit heavy for me personally. I remember trying it once and thought, not for me really, so. Yes, the Strider, what a great port this has on the Mega Drive, so hopefully you can hear the sound fine, so. Right. Let's just go straight into it. So, but yeah, this is just such an amazing port. You know, just compared to what we got via US Gold and Destroyers of World that are tier techs, this puts it all to shame. So, I think the controls are pretty damn simple in this game, aren't they? That's right. So, is it A to jump? B to attack. Ooh. So I just get used to these controls again. Ah, that's right, yeah, let's see. Oops! Oh dear. I don't usually die that quickly. I think I'm still in Gunstar Heroes mode, so. Oh. Oh dear, come on Vicky, you can do better than that. But yeah, this is just one of those classic ports. Oops! Whoopsie daisy. Classic port's been played badly. But yeah, this is definitely on a par with from the... Yeah, I definitely think the... I mean, you do get your occasional graphical glitch in this game, there's no doubt about it. Or got your little helper buddy, if he wants to come back. Come on. This guy will help me out a bit, so... They've got a particular name in this game, which I can't remember, but... It'll be in the manual, I guess, so... But you get these little helper droids, or whatever, to... Game over! Ooh, yeah. Of course I'm going to continue, so... Well, as I said earlier on Twitter, Tim, I didn't necessarily have the talent for it either, but I think I've got a bit more with it now, so I'm not necessarily the most easy in front of the camera, it has to be said. Oh, no, don't jump too far. Okay. But yeah, this was actually based after a manga comic, wasn't it, Strider? So, there you go. So, I don't think that always came across. Ooh, this guy's a pain in the bum. You need to basically get up there, don't you? Jump up there, because gosh. Yeah, I'm sure you can see people with better. Always found this very frustrating to play ramp base. Yeah, it can be quite hard, but I have to say I still enjoy it immensely. Ah, there you go, got the metal eagle or whatever you want to call it. So, but yeah, it's definitely got some rather unusual mechanics, but once you get used to them, they're where's he gone? Oh, damn. But it doesn't stop me enjoying it, it has to be said. I think it's just getting used to the button layout again. It's I think the buttons are a bit different setup to Gunstar Hero, so it's took me a little while just to get used to that again. So you've got to get your excuses in with these things, haven't you? Because otherwise, you know, people will think you're not proper legit. So. There you go, and then we fall down somewhere, don't we? Or is it? Okay. But yeah, it's certainly a definite knack to playing it. There's no doubt about it. And then you get all the Russian sort of Politburo peeps down here somewhere. There they are. Which morph into some form of monster. Ah, rats. Oh, we're at the end of that stage, so. Yeah, I definitely think that Samson should do more videos. I think I would really enjoy them, but there are so many people who do YouTube videos. You don't, without necessarily having to do pieces to camera, so it certainly helps give personality to the videos, but there's no requirement to actually be front and centre of the camera. I mean, if you look at some of my first videos, I was so nervous. There we go. Got him. Woohoo! The Soviet Politburo is done with, so... Well, not that it's the Soviets technically, but there is some influences of the USSR in there, so... Yeah, it is a little bit jerky in places, Strider, but it's still 1,000 times better than what you'll get on any other system, but yeah. Yeah, Strider's pretty hardcore, but I certainly enjoy it, so... You've got to use that jump mechanic as time goes on, really, because without it, it will hand your butt on a plate, so to speak, so... And, you know, there's little bits like this which are just... And you've got to be quick on that B button. Ugh. Come on. Oh, missed. Oh. There we go, got it. This dude is always hard to get. Oh. Got me straight away, so... Puppet shows over the bedroom door, yeah. Oh, don't ask me where I get it from, I don't know. I don't recall my parents ever doing that, so... I just think it's my natural whimsical nature, so... I think I've always enjoyed my soft plushies and that, so... that hasn't changed at all as I've got older, so... So I enjoy prattling about doing silly things like that, so... After what I've had to deal with all this week, I'm quite happy to muck about like that, so... Don't knock me down. That's just unfair. Yeah, don't... Oh. This time that, so... Yeah, I'm the same as well, Error 42. When you look at actually how they do the tile maps and stuff, it's incredible. But hopefully, to some extent on my channel, I'll be able to show you how they actually managed it. So, I'm not saying that I'm obviously of the, you know, the quality of, you know, the games developers that you got back in the day, or still do. You know, like when you look at the work that Capcom and Konami and so forth did, Data East or whoever else, it was incredible what they used to do. So, yeah, I'm not really saying that I have the ability to do, but I'm going to show you how they kind of did it, so, in effect, anyway, at least, so, as time goes on the channel. In fact, actually, what I was working on the live stream last week was referring a little bit back to how to create tile artwork and stuff, so... But we will be covering it in my channel at some point. Oh, come on, let me through. Yeah. Oh. I was reading the chat, guys. Well, there's a good pause screen. Yeah, I don't know that I ever had Strider on the Amiga. I don't think I even remember playing it back in the day, but a friend of mine, they had Strider on their Mega Drive, and I remember playing it, and it was, I don't know, we just played it all evening and loved it really, so, but I don't ever remember playing it on the Amiga until much, much later, and I just thought, this isn't a patch what I remembered on the Mega Drive, so... it is quite an early Mega Drive game. I think it came out in about 1990. So, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about the sliding attack in this. How did I do that sliding attack again? You've got to hold down on something, I think, but I'll look it up in a manual minute because that's actually really helpful in this game. I've really nosed up this scare, haven't I? Yeah, so the soundtrack is a bit jarring, but that's just typical early Mega Drive stuff, really. It's not making the most of that FM synthesis, so... Never get those guys. They're vicious little things though. Gotta be careful of them. Ah! Do a video on C64 Strider. We need to get that C64 fixed next week, don't we? Sansian, so. It does go well, yeah. Oh, I've missed the continue. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, this is the thing you see with the Mega Drive, is that whilst technically you might have got better soundtracks on other systems like the SNES, there's something really distinctive about the Mega Drive sound that just fits the whole aesthetic of the system. It's so intrinsic to it. So, you know, I don't follow this whole mantra of, well, this is better than that kind of thing. I just think, well, it goes into the system, you know? And to me, the Mega Drive of that is FM synthesis would just not be the same system. It's all part of its charm, even if it technically isn't as good. It's just, yeah. Oh, no. It's just all part of what made that system what it is. Oh. So yeah, I just appreciate everything for what it is. It's nice to sort of have different takes on things, and yeah. That's where the sliding attack would be good. Yeah, I've really got to remember how you do that, so... Oh, look at this guy again. Oh, rats. I think as I remember how to play this a bit more, I only played it a couple of weeks ago. But obviously when you go from one game to another, from one system to another and all the rest of it, it does mess with your muscle memory for sure, so... But I love the graphics in this game, I really do. I just, again, it feels intrinsic to this version of it. good. It's all good. The SID chip is legendary. Yeah, absolutely. So, oh, synthesizer in a computer. So, and I love Ghosts and Goblins. I was playing a bit of Super Castlevania last night. What a game that is! There's just so many classics from this era that, you know, I really do need to have a replay. Oh, damn. Replay through at some point myself. So, but that's why I'm thinking of doing the Chrono Trigger streams, because it's something that is a game that I love and I want to share that with more people. So the more people the merrier. Here we go. Ocean Loader for the win, definitely. Ocean Loaders are just so legendary. I really love the music from Toki actually on the Amiga. That really reminds me of the SID chip. So another great game for another future stream, I think. So gotcha. Sounds loader for the world. Last Ninja 2 soundtrack. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but I follow. Is it Jamie Maxwell? He did a really amazing acoustic rendition of the Last Ninja 2 theme. If you just type in acoustic guitar or acoustic Last Ninja 2 remix into YouTube. Obviously after you've finished enjoying this today. But that's an epic rendition of the Last Ninja theme tune, so... Right. Ah. Damn. Oh, actually, let's have a little drinky booze. So yeah, sorry I'm not always keeping up with the chat, guys. I do endeavour to. I'm just getting absorbed into the games, which is good. That's what it's all about, isn't it? So. Oh, I hate this bit. I always mess this up. Because one of these platforms has a spike. That one there. And I always get caught in it. Ah! Don't let me die. I'm too young to die. Doing some of this swag. Ah. Let's get this right. Ah! Don't use all the good stuff. There you go. Oh. Oops. Suicide mission. That's... Oh, straight down the hole. Yes, Strider is indeed a bit manic, that's for sure, DB, so... I'll type on Amiga, by the way. Yeah, that is actually really rather good, isn't it? So... I'll type on the speculative. I would love to see that, Samsung. I've not seen that, so... I would love to... But even Spectrum prices these days are going through the roof, and you think how many of those were sold. It's crazy. It's a strange old world out there, that's for sure. So I'm not saying that the Spectrums aren't worth something, but the prices I've seen them go for is really rather something else. Right. I need to get over the other side of that. How am I going to do that? Oh, no, don't fall down there. Ah, straight down the hole. Damn. Hey there, Ralph. We're playing a bit of Strider. We're playing Strider on the Mega Drive. This isn't the Amiga version. I wouldn't foist the worst of US Gold on you all. Well, actually, to be fair, Strider was far from the worst that US Gold foisted on us Amiga owners. Far, far from it. See, I seem to get taken off of the yeah. They were proper games, yeah. Yeah, that's what I love about the arcade era. You know, there's a real challenge to it, so... I mean, okay, they made them hard to rinse you of your money, but by God, it was fun, so... Right, I need to... If anybody in the chat can remind me how I get up those steps there, I'd be eternally grateful. I seem to be failing on an epic level to work out where I go from here. It's just that when I try and jump off these steps, you know, usually to do the roll, as it were, I just don't seem to be able to do it. I'm obviously missing something obvious. Yeah, US Gold gives me nightmares as well, so... I would be Colin, actually, but to be honest with you, I've not yet bought a Switch. I've actually bought myself a new sofa instead of the Switch, but yeah, I do like modern games. I mean, I really want to get on with the Ni no Kuni series, which started on the PS3. I mean, PS3 to me is cutting edge, so I'm probably about 15 years behind everybody else, but I would say it's not doing me any harm, but I'll let you be the judge of that. So, but I really want to get myself a Switch at some point, so that's the object of my desires. There are so many great JRPGs that have been coming out for that, so, you know, things like Octopath Traveler, Breath of the Wild, but yeah. So no, I'm not just a retro gamer. I do have a lot of time for modern gaming. I think what it is because it was only last year that I dug the Amiga out, and that reminded me of all the things that I've been missing all these years. And I'm gonna do a video this weekend, which will be more of a piece to camera. So don't expect any great production values on it, but it will be from the heart. All about how I've gotten back into my retro gaming. and retro computing in the past year or so, because it's the Last Action Hero, and you know, that's why I've been playing a lot of the old stuff, because it's been truly epic actually to play all this old stuff. But I will say that I do prefer, in many respects, the simplicity of the older games. But as my YouTube handle says, I am the pixel vixen, so pixel art is what I love, 2D is what I love, it's the aesthetic that I like the most, so that's why I probably focus on the older games a bit more. Just purely because, you know, like, you could look at Strider and go, oh, it doesn't look all that, but to me, I find it does look all that. I love its aesthetics. It's just great. So, and yes, the controls are a little bit strange at times, but they were in the arcade as well. So that's why I like games like Rastan as well, because there are easier action running. Rastan's not really run and gun, but there are easier games of that ilk. But it's just got a feel to it, which is, I don't know, just feels so right. I'm gonna get this bugger even though I don't need to. I'm not gonna get this bugger even though I don't need to, so. Yeah, maybe I'll get a Switch and a retro, yeah, so. And Kev spends more time playing main than any modern game, yeah, so. The Amiga was capable of so much more, so. As Kev says, you know, and so many were hampered by the fact they were just rubbish ST ports. You know, the Amiga got off to such a slow burn, sadly, that the ST got the initial lead market-wise, and so everybody just did ST ports, you know, Motorola 68000, just basically use the CPU to drive the graphics. Oh god, Vicky, come on, you can do better than this. And that's why we ended up with total crap. I have a feeling, and if you don't follow these guys, I really like them, but GameSack, they're American, it's Joe and, what's the other guy's name? But I really like their videos, they're really good. I mean, sometimes their sense of humour I don't share, but I really like them, because I think their knowledge of games and their love of actual gameplay and stuff is second to none. But I have a feeling they might be doing an Amiga video at some point very soon. I know they've covered the CD32 in the past, but I have a feeling that they're going to be covering the Amiga soon, because they recently, I can't remember which video it was they did, but it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but they did a video about gameplay things that really annoy them, and they was pointing out something really bad about the Master System version of Outrun or something like that, and I basically just left this comment saying, oh, well, you wait until you play it on like the Probe software conversion on the Amiga, and they said something to the effect of, I've been you know, screaming and shouting at that version like mad the past few weeks, so it sounds like they might actually be doing an Amiga video at some point, so look out for that. But yeah, the problem is that you get US Gold with Tiertex and Probe software doing absolute rubbish conversions, and for those early years, all those arcade ports, apart from Super Hang-On, which I remember being quite good on the Amiga, you know, are just absolute garbage. So the Amiga was definitely capable of much more than what it sadly got, so woohoo! Second stage, here we come. Oh, wow, that's so cool, Ralph. That's an amazing donation to get, so. I would love to get a spec at some point, even though I never had one when I was younger. We was all Commodore kids virtually. There was a couple of kids that had Spectrums at school, but most of us were all Commodore kids. That was the go-to system. You also had, I think there was one kid that had a CPC, and there was also one kid that had a Dragon 32, which Neil, Retro Man Cave, was covering in his most recent Trash or Treasure series. So it was good to see him restoring a Dragon 32. But I remember the little analog joysticks they had. Strange little system, but quite endearing actually. Reminds me a lot of the BBC Micro in its durability. So, but yeah, it's based off of the Coco really. That wasn't it? Motorola 6809 wasn't it? The CPU? Was it the Motorola 68000? 6800? Can't remember. So one of those, but it's a Coco clone virtually anyway. So. Come on, robotic monkey, die. Die so I can get lost up here again. It's so easy these days just to think, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to go on YouTube and look up how you do it, but you just think, well, but we didn't have that in the day. I mean, yeah, sure, you had the helplines and the player's guides, but I just don't want to, you know, I think it's just my terrible gameplay that's the problem. Oh, rats. Gonna die in a minute. Maybe that's what you're meant to do with those. Yeah, I think I always get that wrong on that bit. Okay, there's guys on the conveyor belts there. I love how the music changes there as well. Woohoo! Spank that monkey. Well, yeah. You could say that. Let's just pause a moment. So, I don't know what it is about Strider, but as you can tell, I'm playing it for quite a while, and that's because I quite like it. It definitely endears me for some reason or the other. I want to get over there. I'm pretty certain you go over there, but I just cannot for the life of me work out how to get up there. Maybe it's up there you go. Oh, do you go behind that platform? Is that all you have to do? Right, okay, I think I've sussed it. Oh. I don't know actually, DB. I've not played Gauntlet on the Amiga. I think it was okay actually. From what I remember hearing about it, I don't recall it being a particularly bad version. Oh, those damn platforms with the spikes. Right, okay, that's not working either. What am I doing wrong here, guys? Amateur hour alert, eh? obviously missing something fundamental here, aren't I? So. Yeah, I wish the same thing as well, Kev, that the Mega Drive has a bit of magic that, particularly in its sprite handling capabilities, which is something that is actually really quite weak on the Amiga. You know, when you've only got 8 hardware sprites of 4 colours, it's quite limiting. Whereas obviously on the Mega Drive you've got like 80 odd sprites, I believe. Whoops. Oh, well, Colin, you can always catch up with a rough and tumble gameplay on the catch-up, so... Night, Ralph, hope you have a good sleep, so no worries at all. Thanks for joining us. Lovely to have you as always here, so... Yeah, I'm definitely stuck there, aren't I? That's what happens when I talk bad about the Amiga. Oh, I can't help it. AGA sprites are a little bit better. You've obviously still got 8 hardware sprites, but at least they can be 64 pixels wide at the biggest. Actually, do you go up there? Is that the thing? You go up? Yes. Oh no, I'm back at the beginning again. I think we're going to switch games here. Let's just go back to the webcam. So there we go. How are we doing for time? My word, it's 11:15, so... I think I'm going to probably call the stream a day there, folks, actually. I feel like I need to have a little rest and a bit of chill time as I've had such a busy evening. So I think that's an appropriate point for me to down tools, actually. So... Oh, Santi, you're off now as well, so yeah, it's been great. Thank you for joining us. I'm really looking forward to catching up next weekend, and yeah, it seemed like the Amiga was always forever trying to like killer beat 'em up to match Street Fighter. Everyone seems to want that, but Elf Mania came quite close, DB, but unfortunately the controls are a little bit janky on it, but it's okay actually. But yeah, if you want to play Street Fighter or its ilk, best get a SNES, because like Street Fighter 2 Turbo on it is brilliant, or get the Street Fighter Alpha Anthology on PS2. That's also really worth picking up. So thank you so much for joining us this evening, guys. I think I've been streaming now for about 3 or 4 hours, so it's been really great fun. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I know we've not done just Amiga, but we've also done some Mega Drive, which I love, and they're both 68,000 systems, so I think that kind of qualifies as an Amiga. So, but yeah, thank you so much for joining us, and look out for an alert on the Pixel streams. It's going to be on Sunday. I think it'll probably be about 4 o'clock British Summer Time, so that'll be 3 PM UTC. So I hope you have a lovely rest of your evenings, everybody. Thank you, Aaron42. Thank you, DB. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Kev. Thank you, Colin. Thank you, Santian. And everybody else who has been in the chat. It's been a real pleasure to share this evening with you. And yeah, I'll see you soon. I'm glad you enjoyed the Do Not Speak video that I put out this week. Look out for another video also this weekend from me. So I guess that all remains for me to say is see you soon. Bye.